Speaking for the first time, there is a 2 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, 2 minute, it's been so long since I've said it, 2 minute time frame, so that when the buzzer goes off, that's the end of your time. I don't want you to be surprised.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Eli Santo, pastor of Salem Lutheran Church in Lake Worth, not too far from here. We have a food pantry, and we serve around 400 families at that food pantry. We are trying to extend it a little bit. We also serve people around where the consular from Miami come to do passport of our people every week from 9 to 1 on Thursday. And then now we are thinking about having a what we call aftercare, so we can help our kids from school and get them, plan them, and help them with their homework. Not only is the one or youth of the church, I would like to say a little bit about it.
Thank you.
I think it would benefit the children because there's a lot of children in Lake Worth that have just came to the city that just started out, like Hispanic kids or Haitian kids. And I think it would help them mostly because they would get personal help that they would need that they might not be getting at school.
I believe, I think less than 2 minutes, right?
You have 36 seconds.
I'm sorry. It's horrible.
Do I have any questions?
Yes.
If you have any literature, can you get it to the city? Because as people come in and are looking for certain services, if we have your information, we can make sure they get that information. And also, I'm working with some groups at Highland Elementary to get some literature out in 3 different languages to help some of the children get into some of our programs in the city. So if you can get me your information and then make sure any literature you have that our city secretary can have in case somebody comes in asking those questions.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Reverend. I've invited him to come tonight to speak because there's so many things going on down at his church that a lot of people don't realize down there. And the mentorship program is a really important one that we need some help with. If people out there know in the area there that could help, I know you have some contact too for the children. And so there's some opportunity here with other schools, like you were saying, Mr. Amoroso, that I think could really help them. They do a lot of good work there. It's a very, very busy parish. So I appreciate all the help you do in the neighborhood there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is my dream that I'll be able to. It is my dream that I'll be able to see a Haitian and a Hispanic community center somewhere in our city very soon, for after-school programs, for job assistance, how to write resumes, how to do things, how to get into and also to create a line of communication between the city and whatever in reference to jobs that are available. We had, when Mulligan's opened, there were 100 jobs that were available at that point. How do you get that information out? You know what I mean? I want to make sure that we have a good, solid line of it, and it's my hope, and I'm praying for it, that at some point we'll be able to do something like that in the future.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you. Peter Tim, followed by Suzanne Squire.
Peter Tim, yes, bad news again. The city is going broke, even worse than what it was before. The property appraiser this year is picking on the land values of our properties here in Lake Worth and reducing them to the fairly well. Most of them are going down up to half of their values. The granddaddy of them all is a $62,000 land policy that is now going down to $2,500. Now, I agree with the property appraiser's office. The city is still going downhill. We are not going uphill. And if you think you're going to build your way out of this problem, you're not going to do it. You have got to attack the problem, which is our slum area. I attended a meeting Thursday night in which they told me that Lake Worth is #2 behind Belgrade as the city with the most underprivileged people. Isn't that something that we should be proud of? I don't think so. I believe with all the buildings that we are still building in Lake Worth for the poor people, that pretty soon we could be number one. I don't want to be number one. So please, let's get to work and fix up Lake Worth to raise property values, not continue to lower them. And you're not going to do it with tall buildings, so please don't try to build them. I attended that meeting in which they had 6 hotels, all in the area under the referendum. They didn't have anything going up on Dixie Highway. We had plenty of room. Plenty of room for hotels, but no. We want it down there, even though there's no room for parking. That's right, they can park someplace else. This is ridiculous. And yet that is what I was forced to listen to last Thursday night. And the chairman of the board said, you didn't say anything. I said, I couldn't top that. God almighty, what are you doing to our city? Thank you.
Thank you. Suzanne Squire, followed by Betty Resch.
Wow, true story, Suzanne Squire. True story. The statistics are out there. The people do get poorer, the ones that don't take the money and the stick and carrot do much better. Since 70s, 80s when they started all that stuff. The greatest place on earth is Lake Worth because her people are her jewels. And I was glad to read in the minutes about the bullying. I wasn't sure when that came up, and I think that some of us this week found out where the bullies are. But the sad part is people are afraid of this government. And that's really wrong. I mean, you know, Thomas Jefferson said, if you're afraid, it's tyranny. If you're not, if you're afraid of us, then that's freedom. And I think we're experiencing tyranny because we are afraid of you guys and what you are doing. You don't obey the laws we do. You just responded to public comment, and on the back of the card it says that you're not allowed to do that or you're not going to do that, but you do what you want, when you want, where you want, however you want. And it all comes down to the money. And this is what's got me the most afraid because this I took to my banker and said, this is a Federal Reserve note. I said, if you give me a note, that's a debt, isn't it? And she said, yes. I said, so this isn't real money. This is a promise to pay back a debt. And she said, yes. So every time you take grant money, the federal government can print the money, and the money that we have buys less where we are. So local dollars are being talked about. My friend is trying to get some numbers together to show you exactly what we are sitting on. Because the Constitution and the federal government says it's their job to coin money. We need to take the printing press back because then we don't pay the Federal Reserve to do it in interest. We do it for free. It costs us nothing to print it. You put it out and it's the quantity that's out there, and that's why the money moves back and forth. We're spending, but we've not pulled back, and when we do, we're going to fall hard. What will we do for food? What are we going to do? And if you disagree, ask yourself, whatever happened to penny candy? Thank you.
Thank you. Betty Resch.
Betty Resch, City of Lake Worth, work and live here on a more cheerful note. Okay, Centennial still going on. Last weekend we had the Jury Dart Show down in the downtown, organized by Marion Weber and everything was great. I was unfortunately working, so I couldn't get there. But this coming March 9th is the Saturday. The art walk downtown, starting at the Cultural Plaza, starting at the Cultural Council at 11 o'clock, and it's a self-guided tour. So then next March 16th is the Centennial Cultural Celebration. And this is downtown at the Cultural Plaza. Right now we have lined up the Finnish Men's Choir, the Finnish dancers, the Irish set dancers, at least 2 groups from the Haitian community, at least probably 4 or 5 groups from the Guatemalan community, including the Princess and Marimba Band at the end of the day. We have the Bolivian dancers coming in. We have the possibly the Lake Worth High School steel drum band, but as things develop, so many people want to be involved. I think we're going to have to reprieve this one in the fall, do it again in the fall, because it's really just a nice thing and have a little more publicity and all that stuff. But people are going to be offering their crafts and wares as well, and have hopefully as many selling food. We have been blessed by the Kiwanis by letting us use their insurance. So that's coming up. Mike just said we can put it on the